The letter from Pontius Pilot to Tiberius Caesar is proof that Jesus was mentioned outside of the Bible. This letter is 8 pages long and it has been translated to English. I've already read the first part in my first video about this, so I'm going to start at the part where it says Jesus was condemned to death. Might be a little long, so grab some popcorn. Jesus was dragged before the high priest and condemned to death. It was then that the high priest Caiaphas performed a divisory act of submission. He sent his prisoner to me to confirm his condemnation and secure his execution. I answered him that, as Jesus was a Galilean, the affair came under Herod's jurisdiction, and ordered him to be sent thither. The wily tetrarch professed humility, and protesting his deference to the lieutenant of Caesar, he committed the fate of the man to my hands. Soon my palace assumed the aspect of a besieged citadel. Every moment increased the number of malcontents. Jerusalem was inundated with crowds from the mountains of Nazareth. All Judea appeared to be pouring into the city. I had taken a wife from among the Gauls, who pretended to see into futurity. Weeping and throwing herself at my feet, she said to me, "Beware, beware, and touch not that man, for he is holy. Last night I saw a vision. He was walking on the water. He was flying on the wings of the wind. He spoke to the tempest and to the fishes of the lake. All were obedient to him. Behold, the torrent of Mount Kedron flows with blood. The statues of Caesar are filled with geminide. The columns of the interium have given away, and the sun is veiled in mourning like a vestal in the tomb. Ah, Pilate, evil awaits thee if thou wilt not listen to the vows of thy wife. Dread the curse of a Roman Senate. Dread the frowns of Caesar." By this time, the marble stair groaned under the weight of the multitude. The Nazarene was brought back to me. I proceeded to the halls of justice, followed by my guard, and asked the people in a severe tone what they demanded. "The death of the Nazarene," was the reply. "For what crime? He blasphemed. He has prophesied to the ruin of the temple. He calls himself the Son of God, the Messiah, the King of the Jews." "Roman justice," said I, "punishes not such offenses with death." "Crucify him, crucify him," cried the relentless rabble. The vociferations of the infuriated mob shook the palace to its foundations. There was but one who appeared to be calm in the midst of the vast multitude. It was the Nazarene. After many fruitless attempts to protect him from the fury of his merciless prosecutors, I adopted a measure which at the moment appeared to me to be the only one that could save his life. I proposed a measure, as it was their custom to deliver a prisoner on such occasions, to release Jesus and let him go free, that he might be the scapegoat, as they called it. But they said Jesus must be crucified. I then spoke to them of the inconsistency of their course as being incompatible with their laws, showing that no criminal judge could pass sentence on a criminal unless he had fasted one whole day, and that the sentence must have the consent of the Sanhedrin and the signature of the president of that court, that no criminal could be executed on the same day his sentence was fixed, and the next day, on the day of his execution, the Sanhedrin was required to review the whole proceeding. Also, according to their law, a man was stationed at the door of the court with a flag, and another a short way off on horseback to cry the name of the criminal and his crime, and the names of his witness, and to know if anyone could testify in his favor, and the prisoner on his way to execution, and the right to turn back 3 times, and to plead any new thing in his favor. I urged all these pleas, hoping they might awe them into subjection, but they cried, "Crucify him, crucify him." In my opinion, King Herod declined to crucify Jesus and showed him humility because of what he did to John the Baptist. King Herod and John the Baptist had become good acquaintances, and King Herod felt really guilty that he beheaded John the Baptist. And I believe Pilate went ahead with the crucifixion because the Jews would not stop screaming, "Crucify him, crucify him," and they were not going to give up until it happened. So I believe he was pressured into saying, yes, crucify him. This letter also goes into detail about how Jesus' trial was not fair and they did not go by the rule book in order to crucify him. But this is the end of part 2 of this letter. I will be back with the part 3 with the letter that Pontius Pilate wrote to Caesar after Jesus' crucifixion. God bless.